It's Little Armory time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the figma number SP136. From Little Armory, it's Ai Nishibe. Ai Nishibe? I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever. This is the first time I pick up something from Little Armory. I got this one on Army where it was a little bit cheaper. I think there was like box damage or whatever, even though I can't see any. Doesn't matter, price was reduced, and that was basically the reason why I picked it up, because for whatever reason, it's just cute. And I mean, that's the entire idea, I guess, of Little Armory, right? It's the mix of having cute anime girls and big guns. And she has a really big gun, and she's really cute, so she does fit the bill. And that's all I have to say about it. Let's have a look at it. Really cute, but hard to stand up on her own. I mean, she has some small feet and even have some detail on there. So, you know, you got the base, but I'm just saying, as I go for the size of this figure, she stands at about 12 and a half, a little over half, 12 and a half centimeters. And for your inches, that goes up to 4.9, almost 5. Size comparisons. Here's Jalter, Arc Knight Shen, Naka Michelangelo, SH Figure Art Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Darkseid. Let's have a look at all the detail in here. Like a chill, quiet look on her face. The glasses have like the see-through plastic on the front, and you got the green eyes behind that. And for the hair sculpt, it's fairly basic, but it looks good. I mean, it fits with the character. I feel like the quiet nature that she kinda emanates. Also, you have like these two strands going down on the side, but for the rest of it, it just goes down and has a bunch of detail in it. Also, it's white, which is, it's just, again, so quiet, so pure, so nice, light-hearted type of character. I say light-hearted, but then she wears like body armor and guns. Ah, okay. I guess it's kind of like a yin and yang theme. Also, theme of the outfit in general. Now, I don't think, you can correct me in the comments, I don't think any of these Little Armory girls have any backstory, any lore behind it. But when I'm looking at her outfit, and especially considering how it's like a little bit of military and whatnot, I'm kind of getting like German police vibes from it, because it has like the green and the white. You know, I don't think if that has anything to do with the design, or if that was chosen. That's just something that I noticed. So you got the body armor in the front, which looks pretty good. I mean, the detail on it is great. It's molded on there cleanly, and also the paint does line up for the most part. You have some slips, like a little bit of white over there, and just like a tiny tippy one on the green shoulder pads that kind of goes around. Also in the back, obviously, you have the hole and some bleeding. What happened there? So, going down to the gloves. Do all the Little Armory characters have gloves? Because I think one of the big features of the line is that they're completely interchangeable with the guns and whatnot, because you're getting an armory with every character. Who would have guessed? But anyway, you got the gloves. Got some nice detail on there. It's a simple color. The skirt, which waves to one side, which is just kind of weird, but it's also cut up in the middle, so you can move it out. And it's pantsu time. And by the way, I gotta say, lovely, 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 lovely butt cheeks, and the pantsu is fairly small, considering the figma molds. Like sometimes you have a bigger pantsu. You would think if you're going into combat, you would have a big pantsu, but haha, wrong. Also, you got the holster for the gun attached to the thigh. Also has some nice detail on it, kind of like the buckles that form on the side. Knee pads, you gotta have those, of course, if you're lunging into combat. Also for the shoes, you have a good amount of detail. It looks pretty clean, pretty good. Also the socks, and that pretty much wraps it up. Yes, I lost the front hairpiece. Now for your articulation, I mean, it's figma standard. You have the double ball hinges connected. Well, one ball hinge in the neck and another ball that goes into the head, goes back and forth. Does tilt side to side. Be careful to not break off the hair over here, because I feel like that might happen. It's somewhat, not really that worry actually, so you know, just be careful with it. Does go side to side. Would go all the way around, but obviously the hair is blocking it, and you can also kind of just pull it out a little bit. And the tilting also does work. Now for the shoulder articulation, they have these what they call draw joints. You can pull this out, also tuck it back in. So it does have a decent range, and also moves forward quite nicely. I mean, it's very important for holding the guns and whatnot. I feel like that's something why they did that. And then they also have the ball hinge in there, goes up all the way. And if you think this looks ugly, just tuck it back in, and it looks a lot cleaner, but obviously not gonna get that much range anymore out of it. There's a swivel in the bicep, I feel like. You can rotate this one around. Ball hinge in the elbow, that's the most standard stuff for Figmas. And another ball hinge in the hand, goes up and down and all the way around. For the chest area, you only have like the hips part over here, which moves around, wriggles around. Obviously, can't really cut up the chest area because that would just ruin the entire sculpt. So I'm fine with that. It doesn't really get that much range, but it does swivel all the way around and also has some side-to-side tilting. And, you know, back and forth is not great, honestly. Now for the legs, they move forward that much. Let me see if this one gets a little bit more out of it. As you can tell, the skirt, yeah. The skirt is cut up in the middle, which is kind of weird. Usually they do it on the side, so it looks fairly unclean if you move it out all the way up. He does give a little bit of a panty shot, goes to the back. And also you can rotate it on the thigh because you do have the ball joints on there and the part that connects to the leg. Then for the knees you have the simple ball hinge in there and another ball hinge in the boot, goes up and down, and this part is actually floaty, so you can line that up with the foot if you spin it around, which actually I think the pack, yeah, the ball pack is just packed in there, so you can also spin this, which is not common for all of them. You do have a bit of an ankle pivot, not too great, and also a toe hinge, which also Figma doesn't do all the time, so that's pretty cool. So here's like the gun parts. I just want to show you that real quick. I'm gonna assemble that now off camera because if I film it, it's just gonna be me fumbling around for 30 to 60 minutes. Even though this is very simple, I'm really bad at those things, so see you in a bit. For the accessories, first of all, you got a what they call a squatting pose, because obviously if you're in combat and you're shooting them guns, and especially the big machine gun she has, you do have to have a squatting pose like that. Now, interesting enough about this one, actually has the legs on ball joints, and you have the regular kind of wide joint in there, so you can still rotate that entire piece a little bit around and move it. It does have the exact same detail that the regular figure has, and you just have to replace the feet to get it on there. She has a little back, which is open, probably for the Glock. She just pulls out the Glock if somebody gets too close. So it's like, get down! Get the frick down! Don't touch me, bad touch. This is like a G19 Glock, which is the handgun that is used by Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3. There's some useless knowledge for you, haha! Also, she has the one angry face, which is a little bit disappointing that she only got one face, but I guess she's not the most emotional type of character. And then you got hands, the closed fist hands, and another one which is a little bit angled, has probably to hold the back. This is like two fingers, just like move out, everybody move out, the open hand and the trigger finger hands, obviously very important. You have two varieties, and then just kind of like a gripping hand. And also you have some bullet shells, which actually looks pretty cool. Just when all the shells fall on the ground after you fire your machine gun. This machine gun, you have to buy it, you not buy it, you have to build it yourself. It's actually in there, I buy it yourself. This is an M249 machine gun. I'm just reading it off of a piece of paper. I don't want to act like I know anything about these things, but if you're into model kit building and whatnot, this is probably going to be fun for you. But if you're like a scrub like me who doesn't even have the tools to do this correctly, it's probably going to be very frustrating and take you way too long. I'm just saying that, like, I'm very bad at it, and I'm not trying to badmouth any model kit builders out there. I respect you, I salute you people. And anyway, you can replace this part on the front, also has some articulation. You can take the ammo box down, which I will not do right now because I'm really afraid this thing will fall apart because I built it. And then you have this one also, just kind of lifts up. You can also replace the back part over here with this one. And if you don't like this kind of tripod, you can also just kind of lean it on this one. You have these replacement parts. And then you have an ammo box, which I also don't really like because the handle just kind of goes in there and it just moves around. But you can open it, obviously. Ta-da! And I usually just store these things in there, which I don't really need. Probably never going to use. So we'll close that down, get it out of the way. I also got the base, as usual, the Figma base with the arms which you can move around. Also there's a Figma back, which you can store all the accessories in. And finally, inside of the box, you also have this school locker thingy, which you can build yourself, but you have to tear apart the box. Also nice artwork on the side. You can cut this up and I'll make a school lock out of it. I'm not gonna do that, so move on. Final thoughts, and I got into the squatting pose just to check. Yes, you can still lift up the legs a good amount, so you do have some options of that as well. And by the way, with the holster on the side, it kind of adds a little bit of more stability, especially for when you pose it like I do right now. By the way, the Glock fits in the holster very well, and it's actually pretty tight fit, so be careful with that, but it will not fall out. Final thoughts of this figure. Now I'm kind of split on this one because, you know, I was gushing over the design and I still like the design. I think she looks very cute, and I like the overall aesthetics, the white hair, the glasses and whatnot. It's tippy top, the paint is good, and the articulation is very well. Now the one thing is like debatable. The fact that you have to build your own gun will be delightful for some people and not be so interesting for other people. I'm definitely on the side where I'm not good at building, so I'm probably gonna leave it. But as such, she still comes with a lot of cool stuff and still of unique stuff, and it kind of adds a layer. It adds some layers to it also, that the fact that you can completely interchange the guns and the hands with all the other girls. From the line, from what I've been told, from what I've looked at, I mean the hands, you could always change hands with any kind of Figma character. That's like, it's just a pack, right? Unless you're really having the old one, I'm not even sure about those ones. But still, it opens up some possibilities. But finally, what does that mean? If you're into the whole Little Armory thing, yeah, totally, I can recommend this figure. If you're not, then it's a cool figure, but you know, it's good. It's good, but not a must-have. And I'm just gonna say it like that. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Ai Nishibe wants.